Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, January 31st, the last day of January. Isn't that crazy? But here we are. And we're on Wednesdays, we look at the new releases that are romance flavored. Every day of the week, we look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week. And each day, we look at a different genre. And Wednesday keeps us grounded in romance. Plus, we're going into love season with Valentine's Day coming up, so maybe this is something that will capture your interest. Good morning, Mary. Happy Wednesday. Feeling a little romance in the air. Yes, we are. Time to snuggle up with your loved one. In fact, if you do follow Killer Cozies or any of the ladies from there, in February, they sponsor a readathon of retro romance readathon. So anything that is published before 20 years ago, which is 2004, which is crazy to think about, but that 20 years ago is considered retro. So if you're so inclined to participate, read any romance book published prior to 2004. I will. I participated last year. I will probably read one. I'm going to be very fantasy heavy this month, I think. I'm hoping. All right, let me get rid of this banner. No sprints tonight. We do have sprints tomorrow night, though, at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. Let's not dilly-dally any longer. The Takeover by Kara Tanamachi. Sometimes when you ask the universe for your soulmate, you wind up with your hate mate instead. You just didn't ask right. On Nami's 30th birthday, she's reminded at every turn that her life isn't what she planned. She always excelled at everything until now. Her fiancé blew up their engagement. Her pride and joy, the tech company she helped to found, is about to lose funding, and her sister Sora is getting married to the man of her dreams, Jack. And instead of being happy for her, as she knows she ought to be, she's fighting off jealousy. Frustrated with her life, she makes a wish on a birthday candle to find her soulmate. Instead, the universe delivers her hate mate, Nami's old high school nemesis, Jay Lee, the most popular kid from high school who also narrowly beat her out for valedictorian. More than a decade later, Jay is still as effortlessly cool, charming, and stylish as ever, and to make matters worse, is planning a hostile takeover of her startup. Cue sharp elbows and even sharper banter as the two go head to head to see who'll win this time. But when the rivalry ignites a different kind of passion, Nami starts to realize that it's not just her company that's in danger of being taken over, but her heart as well. I did notice when I was prepping, we don't have any beautiful dresses types of romance this week. I'm kind of sad. I like those. Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. That is a name I'm familiar with in romance. Fate brings together a ballet dancer and a hockey player in this big-hearted novel about second chances. Once upon a time, teenage Aurora Evans met a hockey player at the Mall of America. He was from Canada, and soon he was the perfect fake boyfriend. You know, all kinds of little snarky but I let them go. A get out of jail free card for all kinds of sticky situations. I can't go to prom. I'm going to be visiting my boyfriend in Canada. He was just what she needed to cover her social awkwardness. He never had to know. It wasn't like she was ever going to see him again. Dot, dot, dot. Years later, Aurora is teaching kids dance classes and battling panic and eating disorders, souvenirs from her failed ballet career, when pro hockey player Mike Martin walks in with his daughter. Mike's honesty about his struggles with widowhood helps Aurora confront some of her own demons, and the two forge an unlikely friendship. There's just one problem. Mike is the boy she spent years pretending was her Canadian boyfriend. We kind of put that together from the paragraph before. The longer she keeps her secret, the more she knows it will shatter the trust between them. Why? But to have the life she wants, she needs to tackle the most important thing of all, believing in herself. All she did was say she had a boyfriend in Canada. Ugh. All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, another popular romance author to certain generations. But I believe I might have even read one of hers. The people we lose take a part of us with them, but they leave a part of themselves with us too. Aurora de la Torre, or Aura to her friends, knows moving back to Pagosa Springs, Colorado, a place that was once home and is now full of bittersweet memories of her late mother, isn't going to be easy. Starting your whole life over probably isn't supposed to be. Okay. But after breaking up with her longtime famous musician boyfriend, hiding out in a small town in the mountains might be the perfect remedy for a broken heart. And checking out her landlord, who lives across the driveway, just might cure it too. Only Tobias Rhodes didn't rent out the apartment to her, rather, it was his teenage son, Amos, fiercely protective of his family and distrusting of strangers. Gruff and grumpy, Rhodes initially keeps little Miss Sunshine Aura at a distance. But over days and weeks, long hikes, and fireside chats, Aurora breaks down his walls, and soon an unbreakable friendship blossoms into a once in a lifetime love. 608 pages? I'm sorry, romance should not be that long. Crazy. I am far more than retro, apparently. We're vintage. No hunks on the cover either. Sad. I know, man. Shirts ripping off, falling off, whatever. They're ladies. They don't get ripped off. They're falling off. Wild for You by Kristen Proby. First in the Wilds of Montana. Oh dear. As someone who lives in Montana, books set in Montana are quite often cringe. Oh my goodness. And there we go. We've got the keyword trope thingy. So why do you even need to read it? An age gap, single dad, nanny, grumpy sunshine romance. Boom, done. You don't need to read it now. Remington Wild is a single dad of two adorable kids, and as the oldest son of the Wild family, has recently taken over the Wild River Ranch from his father, because everybody in Montana lives on a ranch. Life is crazy, and he's finally willing to admit that he needs help, and the sooner the better. He has no idea that the beautiful woman he sees every day at Bitterroot Valley Coffee Company is the woman who would show up for the job. Erin Montgomery couldn't get out of Seattle fast enough. It's not that she doesn't love her big, loud family, but living in the big city just wasn't for her. The minute she stepped foot in Bitterroot Valley, she knew she was home. She loves the slower pace, the friendly people, and her job at the coffee shop. Even the smoking hot, grumpy guy who stops in every afternoon can't put a damper on how much she loves small town life. Thanks to car trouble and her stubbornness when it comes to using her trust fund, because of course she has a trust fund, Erin needs a second job and applies for the position of a part time nanny. God forbid she has to work because she needs to pay bills. She's surprised to find out that it's Grumpy himself who answers the door at the ranch, but Erin quickly learns that she loves his kids and the ranch, and it's a no brainer to take the job. She just has to remind herself to resist the sexy rancher and keep it strictly professional. Remington is attracted to his younger nanny and finds himself falling headfirst in love with her. He and his kids have never been happier, and he knows she is the perfect addition to their family for as long as she's willing to stay, hopefully forever. But when secrets are exposed, one of them endangers his children. Will their love survive, or will it tear them apart? You know, let's look at this cover. That looks like a romantic position, but his arm is around her throat. This could very easily also be a cover for a stalker type of book. And the plot is very much like one of Elsie Silver's. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the second one, whatever that title is. I read that one. Anyway, moving on. Canton's Protection, a protective hero romance by Diana Palmer. Wow, she's still writing. Tycoon Canton Rourke has fallen on hard times. When he planned a vacation with his daughter to escape the pressure of rebuilding his company, he didn't think he would find himself in another hotbed of trouble. Yet Canton is now beset and besieged, and all because of his neighbor, Janine Curtis. The woman is out to get him, he's sure of it. He came to Mexico to relax, not catch bandits and track kidnappers. As a famous thriller writer, Janine traveled to Mexico to get inspiration and keep an eye on her parents while they work at a new archaeological dig. Janine could care less what the brash single father thinks of her. However, it's hard to ignore how her knees buckle every time he rescues her. She's falling for this man who is shrouded in mystery, but is it worth the risk? Oh, dang it, it is previously published. Ugh. And it's only 160 pages. They bamboozled me. This one is also previously published as something else. Just say yes. 17-year-old Jimena Ramos is your typical teenage New Yorker. He has no face. Apparently, the author could only afford to pay for one face in cover art. Dazzling, fearless, and determined. When she discovers she's been living her life undocumented, she decides there's only one way to keep on track: marry an American. At 17? Maybe Jimena can find a husband on a dating app. Maybe she should try approaching this marriage thing like a business deal. Or you're underage and this would be statutory rape. Or maybe her new starry eyed activist friend can help. Oh, activism. Meanwhile, the only person she can trust with her secret is Vitali, her overachieving and adorable next door neighbor and friend. Vitali makes it clear he's not a candidate for a green card marriage, though. He has his own plans for the future and won't let anything derail them. But as Jimena and Vitali confide in each other, sparks fly and their feelings for each other become undeniable. Jimena faces an impossible choice: continue to pursue a secure future in the only home she's ever known, or risk it all for real love. So many thoughts. You're still children. And illegal things happening that are being presented as romance. Ugh, yeah. Wow. I'm more appalled than snarky about that. Tyler by Donna Michaels. 12th in the HC Heroes series. Wrong place, wrong time. And only 135 pages. Love better happen fast, man. An accident took Navy pilot Tyler Ty Bryson from Top Gun to civilian and engaged to single in a blink of an eye. Although he was grateful to work security with some of his brother's military buddies, he missed the sky. Flying is in his blood, and since he comes from a family of overachievers, being grounded is tough. Well, he can't be Top Gun, but he can still fly. He's having a hard time finding his footing until a gray eyed beauty bumps into him and effectively knocks the massive chip off his shoulder. New place, about time. 4 years ago, Piper Monroe lost her husband along with her creativity. Coming from an artistic family, she is still struggling to find her muse until a friend of her sister invites her down to Texas. Enticed by a change in scenery, Piper leaves the Poconos to open an art studio in Harlan County. She never expected the locals to be so friendly or for her wine and painting classes to be such an instant hit. But the biggest surprise is plowing into her hot neighbor while trying to avoid getting run over by an out of control car. Right place, right time. Piper's zest for life, despite her losses, fills Ty with admiration, while her smile, sweet kisses, and soft sighs have him throttling higher than any adrenaline fueled danger zone. Their friendship, passion, connection. He's never felt anything so right in his life. So when Piper is nearly run over a second time, Ty vows to keep her safe and take down the bogey gunning for the woman he loves. Oh, so many things. Oh, well, that was all I was able to find. It must be they're kind of holding off for Valentine's week or something. But so we're gonna look at some more cozy mysteries because there's always more. Fae and Familiars. Kindle Unlimited, 188 pages. Double checking the date. Yes, we are good. Holidays can be murder. Fee's on holiday in Cornwall when she gets a call from her boss about killer piskies. Guess this isn't the relaxing getaway she dreamed of. Now she has to work out how to stop the piskies and their queen without anyone else getting killed, even if it means making a bargain with the Fae. And there's the cover. That is a very strange expression on her face. Hmm. Concierge by Abby Corson. Oh, it says a Kindle is not currently available. Booked Up by Elizabeth Span Craig. I'm familiar with that name. I don't think I've read any of her books, though. Book 10 in the Village Library Mysteries. 25th. What day was the 25th? Does it still kind of count? Yeah. Dr. Victor Wilson was one of the most popular physicians in the small town of Whitby, North Carolina. He wrote a prescription for trust with his attentive care and compassionate bedside manner, but when the doctor's own story takes a deadly twist, librarian Anne Beckett finds herself in the center of a medical mystery that's anything but routine. As Anne steps into the investigation, she uncovers hidden chapters in Dr. Wilson's life that cast a shadow of suspicion over those he once called friends. With each clue discovered, Anne becomes less startled by the doctor's untimely demise. Can Anne close the book on this mystery before someone else has a final chapter? We are kind of running out of time, so we're going to look at covers here. Uh, Hair Today, Dead Tomorrow by Amber Cruz, Spring Harbor #1. Charlie's Secrets by Lorena McCourtney, McInivy #6. Lots of green with a peacock. Handbook for Homicide. Handbook for Homicide, Brambleberry Bay Murder Club #3 by Addison Moore. Seems Like Trouble, Mel Morgan. Crooked Quilt #3. The Baker and the Body by Jessie Lee Murray. Blythe River #1. Beagle's Love Layer Cake Lies. I love beagles. I grew up with a beagle. Beagle Diner #4 by C.A. Phipps. Red Velvet Droplets by Rosie A. Point. Charlie Mission #3. The Mystery of the Back Passage by C.M. Rollins. Lady Darabee Jones #3. Apple Pie Homicide, Sunny Shores #4 by Cassie Rivers. Mysteries of Max, books 73 through 75 by Nick Saint. Poison Package by Aaron Scott. Murder at the Morrissey #3. That cover looks familiar. I think each cover has a different view of that building. Mediums and Margaritas. Mystic on the Rocks #2 by Lynn M. Stout. Dipped in Murder, Freshly Baked #28 by Kathleen Suzette. Death and Peaches, Sugar Creek #2 by Nova Walsh. That looks fun. And Bingo, Bluffs, and Bloodshed by A.R. Winters. Tiffany Black Travel number 5. Those are the ones that are coming out in January. There are some still. Yep, see, each book has a different view of this building. And since we've got time, let's take a look at Death of Peaches. Abby Hirsch has traded her hectic life in LA for a shot at her dream, a catering business in her idyllic hometown of Sugar Creek, Texas. She's ready to take over until her plans hit a sour note at the annual Sugar Creek Peach Festival. When a city councilman dies from poisoning, Abby finds herself in the pits as a potential suspect. Not only is her fledgling business at stake, but the councilman had recently rejected her business license on a technicality, leaving her ripe for suspicion. Armed with her culinary skills, a new furry companion, and a knack for gathering clues, Abby joins forces with her best friend, Cassie, and the attractive Sheriff Ryan Iverson. Together, they peel back layers of mystery, but can Abby clear her name and serve up justice in time to save her business? Or will her dreams of success crumble like a peach cobbler? Well, next time, if we have a shortage on romance, we can look at Harlequin. Tomorrow will be the March releases that they have available a month early if you want to read it as an ebook on Harlequin. So we'll have that as backup. Hoping that your day at work goes better than the last couple days. Oh, I tell you. Hope to see you later. And thanks for, oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here, Mary. I appreciate you so much. So, again, no sprints tonight on my channel, but they will be tomorrow night at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. And then again on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and those will go for 5 hours. Tomorrow we'll be looking at the fantasy and science fiction books that are being released this week or have been released this week. I know there was a big one that had been looked forward to. Sorry, we've got a commercial. There we go. So I hope you are going to have a good Wednesday and you're reading good books and you are taking care of yourself because you are very important to us and to yourself. And if you are reading something that you're not enjoying, it's okay to set it down. Reading is fun. It's not an assignment. You can always take it up later. It's not a reflection of the author or the book. It's just not the right time. So it's okay. Read a good book at that time. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day and God bless.